Hi. Just before the audio starts, I wanted to let you know a little something. I have a Patreon, so if you enjoy my content, you find my personality entertaining or what have you, there's a link in the description, and for only $5 a month, you get access to a ton of exclusive audios that I upload every time I upload a YouTube audio. You get access to Thursday polls, where you help decide what Friday's audios will be, both the YouTube and Patreon one. And you get access to a Discord where you can talk to me, a bunch of lovely people. Sometimes I do stuff over there. I've been busy, so I haven't done as much stuff, but a bunch of incredible people are over there. Met some really nice people. Now, if any of that interests you, there's a link in the description, but if not, totally okay. You can just listen to my YouTube stuff. And now, without further shilling, enjoy the audio. Is that one a little dipper? It looks dippy. I don't know. Also, I forget, is there a Big Dipper? Yeah, there is a Big Dipper in there. For a second, I thought it was like, oh, it's like New York, there's a New York, but there's not a York. Huh. Oh, wait, there is a York, isn't there? Oopsie. I'm not stupid, I promise. Well, the only reason I'm sure you may have noticed this, but I have an assortment of moles on my face that look semi closely to the Little Dipper. Yeah, these. Look. Yeah, it's kind of there. Just a little bit. It's it's unique. It's fun. It's a nice little unique thing to my face. I can never remember the constellations. I try to. It is interesting, like the stories that were told via constellations. You know, the it's the same sky practically that you know all those people back in the 1400s. But to say something deep, and the yawn kind of threw it off, didn't it? All those people back in the medieval times, they saw them before that. Got all the same little constimoncies. Hungry? Yeah. Well, good for you. I brought some stuff. Mm-hmm. I was debating on what to make. I was like, I could make my classic spaghetti. Because, I'm good at making spaghetti, obviously. But I was like, I don't know if I can keep that warm long enough. So I was like, what else could I do? I can make some burritos. I was like, nah, it's not good enough. You really like burritos, huh? Dang. Now I kind of wish I did that. Well, I overthought it a lot. Like a lot. And it ended up being too late for me to cook something. And I was like, McDonald's. So, on my way here, I drove by McDonald's and got a lot of food. Yeah, burritos weren't good enough, but Mickey D's, yeah, that's gourmet. You gotta love the diabetes burger. God, they should 100% come out with a burger that's just called the McDiabetes. I'd buy it. Unironically, I'd try it. See how good it is. Probably be really unhealthy, even more unhealthy than our other stuff. But they could literally be like, "Hey, this one's particularly unhealthy. Don't eat it." But everyone would be like, "I'm eating it. It's good." Yeah, that's the thing about fast food, isn't it? It's kind of engineered to be the most tasty and delicious thing on the planet. You know, 'cause, back in the day before we had highly processed stuff, it was like delicious meals weren't necessarily the most unhealthy thing in the world. But now, highly accessible food is designed to be the most delicious thing in the world. So it's like, oh, why not? It's good. Eat it. Kind of why the obesity rates have kind of just skyrocketed. It's all a ruse by big food. Big food. I was trying to make a joke like big pharma, big oil, those companies. Big food, it doesn't quite make sense. It's just like, what are you talking about? Like a really big chicken or something? like a big old chicken. All right, you want a burger? All right. I got a quarter pounder, good old quarter pounder, at the McDouble, and of course I got the whatever. What's their signature burger? I forget. I ordered this. It's the one with the bread in the middle. It's not the McDouble. It's the Royale with cheese. No. I was just. I had to. Yes, I had to reference. Not Fargo. Oh my god, I'm terrible at remembering names. What's wrong with me? Oh, I love that movie. What's it called? Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction. Okay, I remember that one. What is it called? What's it called? Their signature burger. I don't honestly. I don't care enough to try to remember it. I've never understood the bun in the middle. It perturbs me. I don't like it. I'm the type of guy who likes multiple patties, right? I'm a big man, and you've seen I can unhinge my jaw to chow down on some burgies. It's like, why are you adding in the second bun, the third bun? Like, this is already so high in carbs. I don't need more. Yeah, well, I mean, some people are into it. I just think it's a waste. Why put more bread in something that is primarily bread most of the time? So many burger places, it's just like it's 40 to 60 to 80% bun sometimes. It's like kill more cows, maybe? That's terrible. Oh, that's terrible. Man, if I didn't detach myself so much from cows, I would probably be a vegetarian because they are very cute. Cows are cute. But, you know, meat's really tasty. Yeah, hypocritical, I know. We all are in some way. None of us are perfect. We all have our own flaws we overlook to then preach about, like, oh, you should do this, even though I do the exact opposite daily. It's in human nature to be hypocritical in some way, you know. We're all flawed. But in a way, kind of makes us beautiful, you know? Yeah. The fries are probably a little soggy. Actually, no. Are McDonald's the fries that usually they stay, for lack of a better term, erect longer? I mean, every fry gets a little soggy, but okay. Controversial take here, very controversial. Um, I like soggy fries. I know. I'm sorry, but hear me out. I don't like, I don't like crisp fries. The type of fries I adore are really thick fries that are a little floppy. That's what I love. I love more potato in my fries. It's why I love wedges so much. Oh, a good wedge. Oh, a good wedge. God. Oh, I could eat those for literal days. I love wedges. I love wedges so much. Hey, it's not my fault. Like, look, a lot of Walmart's, like, hot and ready food is kind of crappy. But them wedges, I could eat literally 40 of those. And I'd still be happy, honestly. Oh, it makes me want them. Oh, I want wedges. Oh, I want wedges. There is a Walmart nearby, but I don't want to ruin the moment to just go get me some wedges. Yeah, we're having a nice moment, talking, being buddies, being good old pally wallies. I'm sorry. And, I love spending time with you. Very, very much. Yeah. Do I not say that enough? Okay, let me say it more then. You are by far my favorite person. You make every day so much brighter. Even talking to you and remembering you exist in my life, sometimes it's enough to make me giddy because of how good of a person you are and how much we connect. It makes me so happy. Yes, it's cheesy to say something like that, but it's true. You make me that happy. Yeah, of course you do. You're that important to me. You've been that important to me for a really long time. You know? Yeah. Ever since the day I met you, my life has felt different, you know? Before we met, I was a very lonely person. You know that. I always had a longing for a very deep interpersonal connection. Something raw and real. Someone that I could really connect with, you know? And for a really long time, I never really met someone that I fully clicked with, you know? I do think it's a little bit to blame the fact that I'm neurodivergent and I have a very specific brain. And I realized that way too late. Yeah, neurodivergency makes a few things a little difficult. Like good old socializing. Yay. No, I got through it. And I made a few friends throughout the years, but there was never that solid connection, that beautiful mending of bonds that it feels so natural and it felt so right. But you gave me that. You gave me a connection that immediately felt like home. I feel like I'm at home with you. Again, I know cheesy, but I mean, there's a lot of truth to that. You were the first person that really made me feel not like broken, not wrong, or that it was built incorrectly. I never really felt fit into a lot of, social norms. My parents never really got it either. My mom was a very social person back in her day. She was like, go out, do your thing, blah, 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 do all this. And I'm just like, I physically can't. Like, that would literally kill me. Maybe an over exaggeration, but I would be in a ball very quickly in the corner. It just felt so isolating for a lot of my life to be so different, to feel so different. Then, the reinforcements of some toxic masculinity traits in a lot of sectors of life. Be a man, suck it up, don't talk about your feelings. I'm a very progressive person, but toxic masculinity still trickles down into me sometimes. Yeah, it's hard to avoid. Most men feel it. The need to be, suck it up, deal with it. Yeah, being a man's hard sometimes. Being a woman's hard. I'm not saying that's not the truth. I'm. I don't like saying this, but because I don't want to be associated with the crazies, but I'm basically a feminist, so, you know. But, yeah, the title comes with a lot of associations. So you're like, oh, so you're crazy and scream at men when they do anything. Like, no. I'm just like, women should get equal pay. They should kind of, like, not be hypersexualized, stuff like that. Like, they're people. That's what I'm saying. But, I do think there should be some advocacy for guys too, because we go through a lot, and that in combination with being very neurodivergent and not really having a normal synapses process, my brain. It's like that with education for a while, where things didn't really click, and I was just like, how did, why, what do you mean? Especially in literature, I was like, how can you, what? This means that? What? It just never made sense to me. There was such a block for me for so long. And, I literally needed help as a kid. I had tutors, I had a lot of stuff because I just couldn't get it. Math was the only thing that made a lot of sense, because that's just like, oh yeah, that's logic, it makes sense. But, you know, like lit, for example, was very difficult. It was like, what? What? But eventually, I did get to the point where I found my own path to understanding. I was like, oh, looking at it this way makes sense. Okay, I'll do that. And it took a really long time to figure out, but I eventually got there. But that's just kind of how life was a while for me. A lot of things didn't make sense, and I just didn't connect with normal people. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel right or okay. I felt like there was a malfunction in the manufacturer, and I just came out weird. I'm normal on the outside, but internally it's just like they missed a zero in the binary that is the programming of my brain. And now I'm just slightly off. I was really alone for a lot of my life. Really alone. I felt so isolated for so long. It was crippling sometimes. It's like a knife that someone lunged into your chest, and every passing day they just grabbed it and dragged it down just an inch. Just ever slowly, just eating me. But then I met you. And a lot of things changed. The second we communicated, there was something there that I felt. And then we talked more and more and more and more and more and more and more, and it felt so right. It felt so good to connect with someone like that. I didn't feel broken anymore. I just felt unique. And that's what it is. I'm not broken. I'm just slightly different. And I just gotta find people with a similar difference. It takes work, but it's possible. I feel so at home with you. It feels so right. So right to be around you. Like I found a person that makes sense to me. It felt good. It felt really good. And as the years went on, our bond got closer and closer, and I grew more and more attached, and now you're the most important thing in my entire life. And I love you. I do. But probably not in the way you're thinking. Well, maybe. I wanted a good place to say this. A good place to really lay it out. So I want to be straight up with you. There was a reason I took us out to this little field to look at the stars and eat food. I wanted a bit of a romantic vista and a deeper conversation about what you meant to me to build up to telling you that I'm in love with you. And it's been that way for a little bit. I want to be yours, and I want you to be mine. I want to wake up in the morning and see your face. I want to make you breakfast in bed. I want to come home from a long day and just see that face, and just embrace you. I want to lay on the couch and watch hundreds of shows and movies, pause them, nitpick them, make stupid jokes, make memes out of stupid frames. I want to be there to cry with you. I want to be there for your triumphs. I want to be there for the tragedies. I want to be yours. And I say this all fairly confidently because I've picked up hints, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong here, because I could be totally off base. I think you may have something for me to, like, connection-wise. Now, before you say anything, if you do not feel the same, that is totally okay, and we can move on as friends. I will be able to get over it, I promise you, because this friendship is too important to me to not maintain. And I love you, and I can adapt and change that to be platonic if need be, okay? Okay, so, what do you think about all this? I will take that as a yes. I love you.